From the Arizona Daily Star and Tucson.com, this is the Wildcast.
Just over 13 years ago, Kyryl Natyazhko was Sean Miller's first ever recruit at Arizona, setting the tone for a recruiting class that also had Derek Williams, Solomon Hill, Kevin Parham, and Momo Jones. Fast forward to 2022, the former U of A center has been living in a war zone in Ukraine for the last few months as a supplies driver. As Russia continues its invasion of the neighboring Ukraine under the direction of President Vladimir Putin, Natyazhko wants to share the unfortunate reality of his home country, which has even soured his relationship with Russian family members. For Natyazhko, he's not a part of the Ukrainian military, but has been proactive in stockpiling clothes, drinks, and food into cars and delivering them to Ukrainian soldiers. Natyazhko joined me earlier this week to detail current life in Ukraine, why he's risking his life staying home, and how people in the U.S. can assist. Plus, we also discuss his days as a Wildcat, packing on weight as a pro, and shedding it off. And we also got into Arizona's current international heavy roster. Before we get to Kyryl's interview, just want to remind everyone to please subscribe to the Wildcast podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give the Wildcast a rating and a comment. We greatly appreciate it. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, Kyryl Natyazhko. Hate that we're kind of talking under these circumstances, but I appreciate you taking time to talk to me today and talk to, our podcast listeners and anyone who is interested in helping you out. But for anyone who hasn't really fully grasped the details of this historic and tragic moment in world history, how would you put it into your words?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, for reaching out to me and trying to show people, trying to get my message to everyone in America, in Arizona in particular, to show people what is really going on. And, from person who is here, let me be the reporter, let me be the eyes, and the mouth to everyone who doesn't understand maybe fully or maybe misunderstanding what is going on. But this is really disaster. Mm-hmm. It's no other word for that. And, for nation, that of Ukraine, 40 million people, big, big size country, everything. And now what is going on? It's no one, square meter that is safe in Ukraine right now. So they bombing, air bombs all over the Ukraine, different cities, railway stations, like disaster type of stuff, violence, rapes, all that. So it's no word to be correct, to say what's going on.
So what is a normal day for you now compared to what it was of several months ago?
Well, how to say now, as the time goes, of course you adjust a little bit because we're human made the way that you can adjust to anything, people live in Africa without the water, so here, for sure you adjust for something. And now you hear all these sirens, actually sirens going on right now where I am. I'm in Dnipro region right now, and you can barely hear it, but you can hear it. So it's probably the missile attack or something could be possible. That's what it means, And we hear it about, maybe depends on the day, but between 5 and 10 times with duration of about 30 minutes each. So regular day, you're really happy, when you get some good sleep. I think it's important for any person, but as now you understand that, it's important you get some good sleep to rest so you can have more power, like how to say, more, more energy to do some that needs to be done, Me personally, I try to be like a bridge between, the foreigner help and domestic here, what needs to be, who needs to be helped, and what they need. So I try to, to use my connections that I made over the years playing basketball in different countries in Europe, in USA. Like right now we're speaking with you, to show people what is really going on, and maybe, someone have some ability to help with something. It's always perfect. I have a couple of people from U of A who reached out to me. Right now, one girl, Lauren Ramirez, she studied with me in U of A, and she's in Spain right now helping a lot. Like by the word, I mean a lot. People of Ukraine, and in particular, women who suffer from violence, kids, even, I hate to say it, but even men who suffer from violence, raping by these, disaster people.
Mm.
So she's helping with that, and she's helping with the humanitarian staff, bringing to the communities, ordering these pallets of food, aids, like whatever it's needed, for people who was forced to move from their homes because their homes are destroyed.
Yeah.
Like it's like, you go somewhere for like vacation, but you still know you come back. And this, like, you went somewhere 2-3 days, but you have nowhere to come back, to.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing. What you got with you? Like documents, maybe something for your kid. And then they move, to the safer, I can use this word, territories. But they forced to go to war. So they lose the person who was providing them, with the money, food, usually man who was working in. These women it's pathetic, and they have nothing, on them. So people like Lauren, she's helping with that, and I'm trying to correct it here to get, from all the communities, from small to big. It's usually like in the villages, like who are needed the most, because it's hard to, they not English speaking people, or no German speaking, no French, no, it's just like our language. And so I'm trying to be this bridge to help, everyone who is needed, and to get this help and send it to the right way, to the right people, do stuff like that, just trying to be useful as much as I can.
And with what Russia is doing right now in the Ukraine, how would you put it into your own words, from your perspective, what's happening right now in your home country?
Well, for me, it's still, I still don't get it. Why? Like, why they here? Why they came? Why they trying to come? Why they trying, what they're trying to do? I don't understand. So I don't have any correct words for that. Only, some not good words to say, but listen, my uncle, my mother's brother, he's in Russia. We're not talking with him. It's impossible. They're like zombies, They listen to their TVs. To them, America, Europe, all other countries are evil. They want to destroy Moscow. They want to bomb them. They like all this, how to say, propaganda.
Yeah.
Only like they don't catch no other news. They don't catch no reality. Like it's, and especially in how in America it's so like free speaking country. You can expose any emotion you want. You can say anything as long as it's not offending other people, but you can express. In Russia you cannot come outside with the sign peace. So in 2022, and your country government, your president, puts forbidding to say peace, so they can send you to jail for word peace.
Yeah.
In 2022.
Wow.
It's barbaric, not what.
Wow.
And so what is going on? They just propaganda. It's not only how now people say they people are okay. It's the government. No, it's all of the country. Because listen, if they will go hundreds of thousands of people would go on the streets and start these meetings, start to say we need to stop this, all that. They cannot put everyone to jail. You cannot put 500,000 people to jail for,
Yeah.
But they want to us to take this punishment. They started the war in Donbass in 2014, and now they want to blame us, for we started. You on our territory. War is always on our territory, not on their territory. And they speaking, we want to, separatists. They want to, to take our territory, which is totally not normal, and it's totally not understandable in 2022.
Yeah.
Not one person, who is still here in Ukraine, they want them. Even some were like in a position of this, of everything, but still people now want to be under Russia. As you see, whole world sees, even on occupied territory, our people still go outside, still go to meetings, still show that, cities want to be under Ukraine control. Ukraine has become, since, USSR broke apart, Ukraine has become more like free-speaking country who is developing under its own, rules. We weren't in the European Union, either we weren't in USSR, but we started to work, against this, KGB and all that propaganda. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, we want our peaceful country who is developing pretty good, and a lot of our people working in America, in China, all over the world, smart people, just, who can get used to different cultures, different all that.
And I want to go back to, you said you have family members that are currently living in Russia right now. I'm sure prior to over the last few months, you've always maintained a pretty close relationship with them.
Yeah, well, like how to say, of course, it's we've been normal, like, normal life.
Yeah.
You will check out, you wish happy birthday, good holidays, all that. Like, wasn't speaking with them every day, but for sure it's normal relationship. But just when you get a message that's what you deserved from some of your relatives, it's not normal. Or how we tell them, like, I have my friends who they family members as well in Russia, and we tell them that your army bombing our cities, and they say, no, it's your army bombing your city. Why are you lying? Everything is normal. I saw on TV, everything is normal.
Wow.
It's forbidden for them to use any American news, European news, anything. It's forbidden. They cannot go on the website if it's not like Russian or like, not their propaganda. Yeah. It's no opposition. It's no opposition.
Wow.
Like, and yeah.
I was going to say, is that, has that become a normal thing for a lot of people in Ukraine right now? They have a lot of family members in Russia, and families are really starting to split because of what's happening right now.
I haven't heard of things like that are splitting, because everyone who is in Ukraine, they understand what's going on. And we do have a lot of Russians who are here, or they used to be like, well, it's pretty much I cannot say the same nation, but my grandmother, for example, she's from Russia, and me, her family is from Russia, my grandmother's. So all of them, and we never had problem with that. I never had problem. I'm Russian speaking. Like, I know Ukrainian and Russian, but I speak in Russian here in Dnipro region, and I never had problem with that. But the people who are like, and there are some people in Russia, like some stars even, who understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And they, not to wish that, but they're forced to leave country. They go to Israel, different cities, because if you there and you show any not support to I can say Nazi army, because what they doing, it's total Nazi, and they forced to leave because they gonna follow you and try to put you in jail.
Wow. So now that you've kind of made it a mission to help out any way that you can, so tell us, what ways are you helping out? Just what's kind of a normal day for you now, and in what way are you trying to help your country during these trying times?
Well, first of all, I have a lot of friends who went to the army, on their own, from their own will. And people are like, they without, in the first, there was so many people who would want to go to army. So all this, everyone wants to help with guns, all that, but guns is okay. Yes, I don't have ability to help with guns, anything like that, but I have ability to help with clothes, shoes, socks, hats, all that. So we try to buy it on our own, first of all, outside, everything what's possible, like in countries like even America, we try to send here, and give to the people so they have something to wear when it was colder, especially like in March, in February, it was pretty cold. It was actually snowing. It's late spring, if I can say. Like, you see, I'm in the West right now. It's May, not normal for our weather. Don't think it's polar bears walking here. It's normal. Yeah, so I try to help with that. Then, as you know, I post some pictures. I really didn't want to show everyone this at first, but I figure if I post something and more people see it, I will get more people involved, and it would catch some people attention, things like that. So yeah, then I start to post, and this one guy from Lithuania, Jonas, he played with me in IMG in Florida. And his father is like heavy businessman in Lithuania. And he himself pretty big businessman as well. So I contacted him, asked her for 3 cars, 3 regular cars, just 4 type of vehicles that are needed for people, to move around and things like that here, because it was this, weather conditions aren't very good. And they provided me with the cars, and they put a lot of humanitarian stuff like energy drinks. I repeat, no guns, no nothing, none of that, just energy drinks and whatever, like some jacket, stuff like that. So I immediately gave to those who need it. And now this girl, Lauren, she got in contact with me, and I made connection with her. I have this lake. That's where I'm at. It's here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I have this lake, and it's in Dnipro region, like if it be America, like you can say state of Dnipro. Yeah. Dnipro, it's like, if you Google it, it's closest biggest city to Kharkiv, to Donbass. It's less than 100 miles from where the actual bombing is, like where the total disaster and they try to come from both sides. They're trying to to blockade Dnipro from this 2 ways,
Yeah.
And so she is going to help the community of people here, because a lot of people who have moved to the villages like this, in the city, right now it's almost impossible to find anything that is for free to live in. I'm talking about any apartment, no nothing, not even they put the beds in the gyms, in the basement, so it's all full with these people who have moved. But they will try to move into some, villages, some like something more where it's not so big cities or unheard territories. It's a little bit farther, but still pretty, so far pretty okay.
Yeah.
But those people need help, so we like with food, babies with diapers, with medicine, like some simple stuff that when it's a war, it becomes not so simple.
Mm-hmm. How can people help you out, Kyryl? Is there a link, or is there any way that, people here in Arizona, people here in the United States, if they want to contribute to what you're doing, how can they help out?
Well, for me, the problem right now with this is if I get any donations, I still cannot use the money because it's forbidden right now to send the money out of Ukraine more than like 1,000 limit per month, $1,000 like this. So it will be useless if I get the money here, because either I cannot buy anything with it or cannot send to, So I found these guys in Lithuania who are helping, and they bring in stuff inside the Ukraine. I cannot say what place, but it's always changes, but they bring it inside Ukraine. How is it helping? It's because men age 18 to 60 who are allowed to go to war. They cannot, I say allowed to go to war, who are eligible to go to war. They cannot leave the country. It's forbidden for men. So if I get a lot of this, ships and all this, and I cannot pick it up outside of the country, like in Poland, Romania, it's useless. But they bring in stuff in the country. So I pick up in the country, and it's around 700 miles from me. On the west border, I pick up, I go there with my friends, cars, whatever. We go by train. Listen, we went by train, and night before, the station was bombed 7 times, so it was delayed. Like, yeah.
Wow.
So we went there. We saw all this, but we still went, and so yeah, these people, they help in that way. So for me, if it's either I have to have some responsible person who can, collect all that donations and then send it to these guys or in Lithuania, because people have contacted me a lot with wish to help, but in Ukraine we don't have this Venmo or Cash Apps or Apple not working that way like in States. You cannot send through the iMessage donations. Even like I always say, $1 can save a life. It's $1 and 1,000 people to donate. It's $1,000. And for $1,000 you can buy a lot of stuff. Trust me. So yeah. So either I would have to set this, but we do have a link for IBAN. It's SWIFT transaction. It's normal bank transaction for Europe countries, and we have PayPal. So yeah, we'll leave that, and then if anybody hears or wishes to help, and be the responsible person to, collect and then to send the easier way, then for sure we are open for it. Plus, I always say, $1 can save one life, and these kids, when you see kids, 3-5 years old, and they telling their mom, look, I only put 1 sugar in the tea or in the coffee, for older people, and they say, look, only 1, I don't put too many, so because they try to save, so some other people have, or they don't put like no waters, Right now it's with gas, with diesel here as well, it's you're not allowed to put more than 2 gallons in your car. So 2 gallon limit, and it's on the gas stations, lines of 40 cars, something like this. I need to take pictures to show people, and so it's like we try to stack up like with gas and all that, So yeah, I mean anything. Then I always give the reports of where I spend these donations, or if anyone want to help on their own, for sure. You can, and if with anything, I mean, if somebody wants to buy some, I don't know, some clothes, something they want to send over, perfect. It's fine. It's great. Like anything in any way, please contact me. And there are my Instagram, my Facebook, everything is working. So
I'll make sure to provide any outlets and any content or any path directed to Kyryl for anyone who wants to help out. And Kyryl, you actually brought up gas and people, 40 cars deep sometimes trying to get gas. Meanwhile, around the rest of the world, especially right here in the United States, gas prices have been just significantly increased. Has that been kind of frustrating for you? You see a lot of people kind of complaining about the gas prices when there's something like what's happening in Ukraine?
No, not really. How to say? No, it's how to say. I understand everything from both sides. For me, I lived all my life, all my 30 years. I lived in the peaceful countries. Never heard, any gunshots, any missile shots, any things like that. Never thought, I would have to move my family, everybody, all of them. So it's hard for me to explain to somebody what is going on when isn't here. If I feel something on the phone, it's still, you won't get this feeling of it. But when you get of something, you go somewhere and you don't know when will you wake up, you don't know if you will you hear your family relatives, and to me, this is more important than gas prices. Here in Ukraine, gas prices almost 2 times up now. And the lines. I mean, if they're gonna say $10 per gallon, like I have a friend, and he was with me, and his friend from Europe called him and said, "Yeah, man, gas prices went up on so much, And he said, "Listen, I would pay $10 per gallon just not to hear this and come back to my home." So, and his home fully destroyed. It's missile,
Wow.
the helicopter, and he's from Kharkiv, where it's like 20 miles from Russia border. He has this beautiful house. It's beautiful house. Like he worked all his life for it. He's four-time USSR champion of boxing, and he boxed in 90s between USSR and the USA matches. So he's like this well-known guy, you know, the athlete. He bought this house for like close to $1 million. He worked all his life. And
What's his name again?
Sergei Kravchenko.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's this tall, big guy, you know, and he's 50-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has 3 kids, listen, and he has to move because the helicopter went and just sent the missile to his house. For what reason?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no, but for what reason?
Wow.
You know, it's not, it's no, you know, no tanks, no nothing in the neighborhood, no army, no nothing. Just came, he said, came by, just sent the missile and left.
Well,
Like you really.
I hope no family members were in the house.
They left. No, they left. Yeah, yes, they left. Yeah. And he cameras, you know, he had these cameras in the house. He was sitting. He said, "Look, what to do?
Man,
no, what to do? No, who is responsible for that? Like,
yeah.
And what this? It's not even occupation. You know, I have some crazy stories. You know, I don't want to speak about this butcher because this scares my heart. And you know, after U of A, I went to play in Mariupol. I played 2 years in Mariupol, and this it was never known before. And it's like factory cities, you know, plants, factories, and they made this basketball club and a soccer club just to support these people who, it's 500,000 people there, and probably, not to lie to you, to say 35% working on the factories.
Yeah.
So a lot of like factories, all that, you know, and people are, I can use this word, maybe dirty city, you know, like it's because factories and all this, you know, but they made these basketball clubs, and there was some basketball players from NBA who played in these clubs. It was pretty good club, you know, it's champion of Ukraine, you know, so we played 2 years there. I played 2 years. Then I moved to Lithuania. So I know all this drama theater that was bombed by them, you know, this, how to say, perimental hospital where babies are born. Yeah. So, you know, I lived 2 minutes, maybe a mile away from this drama theater where they throw the bomb, and was like more than 1,000 people killed. And they say it was some Ukrainian, how they use this Nazis word. In their eyes, if we like our country and we support our country, we Nazis. And if they like their country, they patriots. So, you know,
wow. Yeah.
So if I like my country, what, I'm not cool, what?
Yeah. Man. And so.
Listen, I tell you one more story. So
yeah, go for it.
I have some as well, a lot of people I know, and some friends, they in army, they was fighting. They say, so they come to the northern part from Belarus border. They attacked us as well. And they come. And this guy, you heard about the stories, how they say America developed in our some biological weapons, including herbs, something like this. So listen, these guys, they from real, like, I don't know, Siberia or somewhere where they got them, when they found them in Russia, you know, Russia is big. It's not only Moscow, you know, it's some terrible places. So they come to territory, and they say Turkey. You've seen Turkey, right?
No.
You never seen Turkey?
No, I've never seen Turkey.
So listen, these guys come and they say, "Oh, what is this? This is not a chicken." They say, "This is biological bird. Let's start to shoot it."
like an actual turkey. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yes. Bird turkey. For some reason, when I heard turkey, I thought you were talking about the country turkey. And I was like, I've never seen turkey before. No, like a bird turkey, of course. Thanksgiving here in the United States. Of course, I know what a turkey is.
Thanksgiving. Actually, yes. Yes. So they see turkey, you know, and they say, "What is this?" this is this biological bird. They started to shoot it with this AK, They started to shoot it with it. They say, no, don't touch. You cannot touch. This is this bird. Idiots, How they come to houses, they see in our houses, they see like they ask, they occupy territory, and they come to this old lady house, and they say, where is toilet? And she goes, right there. After some room, go to the right. And he says, how is possible the toilet in the house? We only have toilets outside. It's not normal. They come, they see people eating Nutella. Nutella.
Yeah, Nutella. I love Nutella.
Yeah, they say, oh, how they live. They very rich. What is this?
Wow.
So they write with this Nutella on the walls, some bad stuff, like that's what you deserve and stuff. So they like, listen, it's disaster. What we hear, they get, they show this their wives of their soldiers whose husbands died at the war of us, I'm talking about their soldiers.
Yeah.
And they give them 10,000 rubles, and 10,000 rubles is, for me, not to lie to you, it's something like $120.
Wow.
So you take, they show a picture like this, like the woman stays, and they say, proud woman of this soldier got, her money, and we support. No, it's what is,
wow.
And people, yeah, good. What is this? What fight for? Like, what they fight for? What?
So, I know that you've been affected by this, but how have you personally been affected? Have you had to move out of your home? What's your childhood home like? How have you been personally affected by this, Kyryl?
I have a little. He's a year and a half, and he's actually American. He doesn't have Ukrainian passport. He's American because he was born in Miami.
Okay.
My wife gave him, yeah. So I had to move him, of course. My mother moved. My wife moved. My mother-in-law moved. All the ladies moved. All the ladies were moved, from our city. We had to move into the western part of Ukraine. Even it's not safe enough there, but still a little bit, how to say. And my father, I don't have a father. My father died. So my father-in-law, he's in war. He's resisting, and my sister's still here. She's a dentist, and because she's a doctor, she feels the responsibility, to, even though she has two young kids, 4 and 7 years. She's. I always have some disagreement with her. I say at least kids need to be moved, and she says, who they will be with? They too young, But she is dentist, so she still, how to say, needs to be, work done for the people. What if she's the baby dentist, actually? So she's working with kids. And she said, all these people are moving, from this occupied territory. So we need, and still teeth are giving pain. So they need to be, to help. And we feel responsibility. Me, I say, if we're going to come, time is going to come that I should go to war, I will go to war. But I try to be useful as much as I can. And right now, our government doing this great job, with them. Not people catching on the street and send you to war if you don't know how to shoot. Now everyone trying to be useful, like all country combined like never before together, and guys are like, like little things like moving, helping each other, helping who needs to be helped to, making this small humanitarian hubs where the stuff comes from Poland, all over Europe, all of the world, I can say, and to providing to everyone who needs to be provided to, like everyone is working so much, and it's amazing. Really, this me as an athlete, as I always worked with the teams, play basketball. I know how to be in the team, know how to work in the team. It's for me this perfect atmosphere. Like, we're ready to fight. Like, how Yeah, Sean Miller always would say, war, it's a war. In the game, it's a war. But I know what war is right now. So,
All right. So what do you think, or what do you want the conclusion to be? What do you see the future and how it's going to happen? And I know you can't really put a timestamp on it because nobody really knows, but what do you hope happens, and how soon do you think it can happen?
well, I can use maybe a word normal, all normal people, as we was taught, from our parents, from everybody, that, evil will never win or never achieve anything as long as, good is doing their job. So I know we're not evil. They come to our houses. I know the whole world and all, like, easiest word to again use, normal people, understandable people, who see this. They know that if evil isn't stopped, it will continue to do so. And those guys what they did in Mariupol, what they did with the women, man, I'm talking about civilian people, civilian people who are old ladies, how they raped this 80-year-old ladies, how 10 girls under age of 14, the oldest 14, are pregnant from them. Like, it's, they will not stop with this. They will continue, and as long as, the whole world doesn't combine and doesn't get together. Not only us, but the whole world. It's terrorists, and America knows more than anybody about the terrorism, and we all remember this bad stuff and what happened. And America always showed their power to stop the terrorists, and for be peace and freedom in the countries. And now it's terrorists, it's near us and it's inside our territory. So we need to stop the terrorists, the evil, and as long as we combine together, it'll be all good. So, like I said, not only guns save lives. Some small reaction, trust me, it helps a lot.
Yeah. So, Kyryl, you're a proud Ukrainian. And, like you said, on the other side, people view you as what you said, a Nazi. You can't be proud of your country without you being considered a Nazi. Well, they're proud of their country and they're considered a patriot, but you are a proud Ukrainian. What does your home country mean to you? And how has it served you growing up? And now that you're giving back, what does it mean just being a part of this moment and trying to fix the terrorism that's going on in your country?
Well, as me, I lived more than 1/3 of my life. I lived outside of the Ukraine, for 10 years. I studied in America, 5 years in America, and I never had any problems with anything of being Ukrainian or, being foreigner somewhere, never, thanks God, never experienced that. And it's like, how in Arizona, a lot of dudes are from California.
Yeah.
They're proud they're from California, and people from Tucson, they're proud from Tucson, but you never have problem with that, right? So if evil comes to your house, you will defend it. So that's what I do, and I don't overreact to the words like, patriot to me. Like, I just like my country, and as a man, we all thought that we need to defend our women, our children, and our territory. I don't want to, none of this, butcher stuff in my territory, in my houses. And that's how all the men feel here. And I think it's normal for any man in the world to express these emotions and to feel that,
Yeah.
So that's what it means to me. It's, my home where I was born, where my father burned, how to live all that and how to go somewhere out. I have a lot of messages, and all these people all over the world, they call me, come to America, come to Lithuania, come to France, Germany. I said, yes, but you always I can always come, but I said, I will come for vacation after it's all finished and done, here.
Yeah. And what made you want to stay and help rather than get to safety like a lot of people?
Yeah, well, safety, it's, I mean, right now it's this terrible type of time that, that it's really, some guy said to me, we will be in history for a long, long time. I said, we live in this history. We all talked about how in the Second World War II, how it's all, all this was happening in Pearl Harbor, all of the fighting in Europe, and pretty much 90% of the fighting was in Ukraine as well. And how all our grandfathers who were grandfathers who were at the war, my grandfather was killed there. And now this history repeats itself, but Nazis come from other side. So again, this happening. Yeah. I mean, if we go through this, okay, we will. It's our destiny, and I don't know. I always feel God gives it's, strongest battles, hardest battles to the strongest soldiers. So that's, motto. And for other people who are live in peaceful countries now, I always say silence is violence, and we are not silent. We're trying to show, as you, as a reporter, doing great job, trying to show people what's going on, trying to let people hear, what is actually happening. It's big time. And I think if a lot of people doing their job, it's evil will be stopped.
So you see videos, or I've seen videos online of people in Ukraine trying to help out soldiers, and they actually run into Russian soldiers just on the side of the road. Have you had any encounter like that?
No.
Okay.
Well, it happened a lot in the first days when when their generals was just sending, thousands of troops. Like their motto was, we need to be more people we send than bullets we have. You know what I'm saying? So They were trying to send anyone you can just to him. And it was a lot of their soldiers died because of that. I mean, and the Kharkov, like I told you, the city 20 miles from Russian border. It was 500 tanks there, and they were sending a group of 30 tanks and all these javelins and Laos that our friends are send us, like Americans, like President Biden, thank you him. And we was just destroying those tanks, and they was keep sending them. Like they don't care about their soldiers, they don't care about their people. And I mean, as it's shown. And now they attacking, how to say, on territorial. They stopped a little bit, so for them it's very much harder. It becomes day by day. But the biggest thing is for our territories. It's if we get some message that some guys need some food, something. We always have volunteers who give people food. They come to some villages, our defenders. They always, people greet them, provide them food, provide them this. No one wants them at our territory. So for them it's hard from mental standpoint. They don't get no food, no nothing. They tell them, you will not get your food. You can go steal it, or to take it away. So they just rob this shops, anything. I mean, these guys, it's funny thing, but they hunt in TVs and washer machines. Think how you bring TV in a tank. What I bring you some plasma, like 32-inch plasma in a tank. What is this normal or what?
So you brought up Sean Miller a few minutes ago, Kyryl.
Yeah.
Have you had any communication with him during this process?
He contacted me through the guys in the first days. Yeah, him, Derek Williams, Solomon Hill, Max Ripking. Those guys have been pretty close with me throughout this. How I can say process or this,
And how cool is it to maintain a relationship with those guys even after all these years since you left Arizona?
Well, we always was in contact. We had some good plans to do my wedding here in Ukraine, and I wanted to invite all of them to show our country, and show our culture, everything. But then this coronavirus showed up, and we, to move the plants, and now again. So, yeah, but it's. I always say basketball gave me everything, not just the ability to play ball itself, just to meet people, to now with this probably the biggest gift that I know people, even like guys like you, who I personally know me, so I can express and help our country, help not only myself, or family, but the whole nation, and it's amazing.
How do you look back on your time at Arizona? And also, how did you come up with the Kyryl dance?
It's a long story back in the day. I don't know. I'm, a guy who likes to have some enjoyment in everything I do. Even in this situation, I still try to, to smile and have some positive in all this negative.
Mm-hmm.
There's, so Arizona was great, and I had to give me a lot of experience, and not only as a player, but as a man, as a person, as everything. And listen, I finished my degree and everything, and so not a lot of people achieve to do that, and for me this is amazing, And most important, I met a lot of people, so this is really what's most important, because one day basketball will stop to bounce, but people are still will know you and you will have opportunity, And now it's amazing to see how these guys who I played with, how they have families, we all have kids pretty much, and it's amazing just to, reconnect to how our lives are developing in different ways, and guys still playing, some are doing nothing that has to do with basketball, but, we all still together, and how we reached out to each other when we played in Europe. Kyle Fogg, he played in Europe, he played in China. Now Derek plays in Europe. So, yeah, It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then have you been able to pay attention to the current Arizona Wildcats? I know it's been hard, obviously, because of what's going on in Ukraine, but Arizona has a very international heavy roster, and they have some Eastern European players too, like Azulis Tubelis from Lithuania, Kirk Risa from Estonia. And those two have been, obviously personally affected by the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
It's the guy from Lithuania. He has his brother with him on the team as well. I know.
Yeah,
yeah, so I check everything, and I was following them, and I was really upset how they lost the one game at UCLA.
Yeah,
but then they did pretty good, and they won the conference and the tournament. And I expected them to go to Final Four, and then this war started, and it was like was like one day counted for 7 days. I didn't sleep, didn't do all that, and then I wake up to some news. I remember middle of the night, it's time difference, so middle of the night, I see and on the phone that we lost. But of course, I was a little bit. It didn't bring me the emotion I needed that time. But
yeah,
I remember how we lost in Elite Eight, to UConn, and for when I saw those news, I kind of refilled that moment and how we thought we were supposed to go to Final Four. And I'm sure this team, they wanted not only to go to Final Four, but to win everything probably. So, but it's good for first-year coach, and for me, it's a little bit proud moment that some European guys, and it's good that program is open to international players, I think, and they're showing that they can play and they can give good production. So I think they have good chance, with this coach and with this group of people they made, good chance to, continue to show good history of Arizona program.
And then when you were playing professionally, it was a few years back, man, you put on a little bit of weight. And then I remember I saw videos surfacing of Kyryl Natyazhko, and you were a pretty big guy. Obviously, since then you kind of shedded off the pounds, but what was it like being that big?
I tell you what happened. I played in this Russian Open League. You know how they call it in Kazakhstan, Astana. The city is like Las Vegas. You know, it's brand new, well built, and it's really good team there. And I got injured pretty bad, you know. And after that, to be honest, I laid up on myself and didn't do anything. I was so down because I thought I would never be able to play again, you know. My knee, it was not even surgery could help with that, you know. I had kind of same problem like Amari Stoudemire or Brandon Roy, if you remember, he played.
Yeah.
Had some problem like this with ligaments, you know, everything in the knee. So I thought I'm done, and you know, it was for me like I was 26 or something like that, and 25, and I thought down, it was disaster. So didn't know what to do. So yeah, of course, I let myself down a little bit and put a lot of weight, but then realized I had to still come back, you know, and with my mate my way back and still played, and it's not so bad. I tell you what, played in Turkey, I played in Lithuania, played in Hungary, played in Poland, played a little bit for this Astana, and played in Ukraine. And out of all these countries, only with Astana, I didn't get a medal. In all other years, I was taking either first, second, or third place. So something to be proud of. So always played on the championship teams, including Arizona, you know. So motivation of being, you know, did my little job just to help team. It's always helped me in my career. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to do same here, do something little for the big victory, you know.
Absolutely. Well, now you're healthy, you have a family, and now you're a proud patriot in your home country of Ukraine. Just any parting words, Kyryl? I know, again, I wish you and I were talking under better circumstances, but I'm just happy that we're able to show people really the truth of what's going on in your home country.
Yeah, it's perfect. And first of all, again, thank you to you personally for that, for your willing, you know, to give your time and to do this. Not so easy with this in Ukraine. You don't know when you will have a chance to speak, or you know, sometimes it's not even service.
Yeah,
but the time and perfect, and not just I really want to thank regular people like me, you know, who everybody trying to do the right stuff, you know, right thing. It's you know, for our mind, it's not a crime to say what you feel or to speak what have to be said, you know, because we don't have no forbidden stuff for that, you know. Nobody can stop us for saying the right things and doing the right stuff. So I hope the people that personally know me, and I know those people, they see it, and then if you have some wish to help, some willing to do something, even little things, like I'm saying, listen, you got the ability to send this $2, $5 to somebody, you know, not to drink one cup of coffee or one bottle of Coke, you know. It will help. It will help, and it will do a lot, you know.
And you can find Kyryl on all social media platforms. Instagram seems to be the best one, I would say.
Anything, Instagram, Facebook, as long as I have service, you know, I always try to reach back immediately.
Okay.
Like I say, I put myself, I'm not volunteering or anything like that. I'm just put myself in that bridge between Ukrainians who suffered and who in need, most important, you know, and all people who combine against the evil, against violence, against all that disaster, terrorist, and all that bad stuff, you know.
Yeah. How do you say bear down in Ukrainian?
I think bear down on any language is bear down.
Okay. Well, you're bearing down in Ukraine, Kyryl. And again, thank you for your time.
You know what? I want to one more thing. I want to
Yeah.
thank Brian Brigger. Because I reached out to him and I said, look, I had to move all my family, and we had to run away so fast. Because when they started, with like nothing for our kids was packed, and we moved. Everything. I drove them to somewhere to the western part of the country, and I didn't have the ability to pack anything, any clothes, no nothing, And I said, look, please send me some stuff because I don't know when will I come back. And he did hook up with me with the gear. And problem is, it's not that not possible to find gear. It's not possible for my size to find anything now. He helped a lot, so shout out to him and all Arizona Wildcats family for helping and supporting and reaching out.
Emoy, as they call him, equipment manager of the year.
Yeah, for sure, yes.
All right, Kyryl. Well, thank you again for your time, and looking forward to staying in touch with you again. If you want to help out Kyryl Natyazhko and Ukraine, please find Kyryl on social media, reach out to him, and figure out how any way you can. It goes to obviously a great cause during these trying times. Kyryl, you're a proud patriot in your home country of Ukraine, and once again, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you. You have a good night and see you soon.
And thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Wildcast podcast. Don't forget, subscribe to the Wildcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe, rate, review if you're on Apple Podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating and comment. Let us know what you think about the pod. And don't forget, hey, still a lot of sports coming your way in the spring sports season. Make sure you download the Wildcaster app for free off the App Store and Google Play. A lot of great stories, digital content, all at your fingertips. Just download the Wildcaster app off the App Store and Google Play. Thanks for listening.